Hey YouTube, it's Tylerwho here. I have been gone for a little bit, per usual, on this channel, but this time I'm back with an idea. I know, it's crazy. I was laying in bed one night and I thought about all the things that go into being a quote 90s kid. And I know this is like completely unoriginal and it's been done and there's a Twitter about it and all this, but I wanted to really kind of give my take and kind of really dive into what it was like being a 90s kid just for the for me when I grow up, and also for, you know, younger generations out there who are like think that they have it all and whatever, and just to show them that, you know, there was a different time and it wasn't that long ago. That's my main thing, is that time has really changed in a short period. Really what got me into this was that I got the new iOS, I got the new iPhone 6, which is what you're being quoted on, not to, you know, not to brag or anything, but and iOS 8 comes with a podcast app. Now, I've been listening to a few podcasts here and there before I got it. I've been listening to Daily Grace, Not Too Deep with Daily Grace, or with Grace Helbig. Sorry, she's not Daily Grace anymore. And but the main one that I've been listening to now is Ear Biscuits with Rhett and Link. And basically what they do is they have, you know, different YouTubers, and they come on and they interview them and ask them basically what their story is, and where they came from, how they started YouTube. And I've listened to quite a few of them, and it got me thinking, like, wow, you know, times really have changed a lot. And I wanted to kind of talk about it. So there'll be different parts. This part is going to be basically social media, because I think that's one of the main things that is so freaking different. And I want to hit on that first. To start it off, social media. When I was in high school, we had MySpace, and I'm sure everyone knows what MySpace is. First of all, MySpace was literally your only connection to friends outside of school. So you would come home every day from school and get on your computer and, you know, check your MySpace. It was like, oh, did somebody post a new bulletin? Did somebody leave a picture comment? Did somebody, you know, friend me or whatever? And there was no really chat, because that's what I think most people take for granted nowadays, is everything, every single thing is integrated now. Back then you had MySpace for friends, but then you had like AIM and MSN and all this stuff for chat. So nothing was ever fully integrated. So, you know, you have your AIM bar up over here with all your friends on it. You know, you'd have a couple messages going, and then you're on here with MySpace, and you've got who's on who's top 5 friends, you know, and all that. And that really started the whole multitasking generation, to where our brains are just completely used to, you know, doing different things at once. But back then we weren't. The real struggle was with the internet being not so great back then. I think one thing that kids today take way too much for granted is internet speed and internet accessibility, and just how it is everywhere all at once. We had dial-up internet, which was ridiculous. You know, you're online, you're on MySpace, you're on AIM talking to your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your friends, and, you know, your mom has to make a phone call. Get off the internet, I gotta make a phone call. Like, Mom, make it quick. But no, she's on the phone for 2 hours, and then it's time for bed. So you're like, oh, you could text him, but no, we didn't have texting back then. You didn't have, I mean, we had phones, but nobody had texting. Nobody texted people. I remember the first time I sent a text and I thought, this is the most retarded thing I've ever seen in my life. I texted my friend Jordan and I said, I'm pretty sure I said, hey Jay, this is T, what's up? Like, just imagine that. Like, that's what I thought a text was, and that was my very first text. And I thought, and I sent it and I was like, okay, I guess I'll wait. But now, you look at us now, we just all day, constantly. We were so just wanting to connect with people, and that's the whole thing with the human species, I think, is we just want to connect with people. And that's why MySpace worked, is, you know, it was a thing that made you able to connect with your friends, you know, pretty much instantly. And the craziest thing is Facebook was a thing back then. It just wasn't a thing like now. I mean, if you've seen the Social Network movie, then you know the story, but it was for college kids. So like I had a friend's sister, she had a Facebook, but she was in college and she's much older than us. And when the whole trend became going to Facebook, like there was a slow turn from MySpace to Facebook, which is another thing that I think many people forget about, is that there was this time where everyone was like, okay, I guess I'll try Facebook. And a couple of your friends would try it and you say, no, I'm sticking to MySpace, fuck Facebook. Then, a few more and you're like, okay, I'll try it. So there was this point in time where you had a Facebook and a MySpace and you just kind of, correlated it and looked at both and did different things. And slowly but surely, Facebook just kind of ate away at MySpace. And before you knew it, you're like, I don't use my MySpace anymore. And people would be like, hey, I'll MySpace you, or, whatever. And it's like, you just laughed at them. You're like, dude, really? A whole other different thing is like Twitter, Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. All these things weren't around back then. I had a Twitter, well, Twitter was around. I had a Twitter in like 2009, I think, is when I finally broke down and got a Twitter. But that was just because people on YouTube were talking about Twitter, and I was like, what is Twitter? And, there was that time where I hated Twitter and didn't know how to understand it and didn't, but now I tweet every day and I tweet all the time. I think that it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the future as far as social networking goes, because in my opinion, right now, we're pretty much at a point where there's no looking back. Like every day I get up, and I'm shameful to say this, but I wake up and I check my Facebook, and I check my Twitter, and I check my Instagram, I check my Tumblr, I check my Snapchat, and then I check my time hop to see what I was doing in the past. And that's my morning routine. And then I go to YouTube. Oh, and Vine. I check my Vine, and then I check YouTube, and I look and see, the new videos or whatever. And then I watch these videos. First, I catch up on all the Vines that I missed, and then I watch these YouTube videos, and it's all on my phone before I even get out of bed. Like, that's my daily routine, unless I'm running late for work or whatever and don't have time. But it's crazy to me how much time has changed and how, people are just accepting it, and we don't really look back and we say, wait, remember when? Remember when this is what we did? Like, that's how I see it. And I just wanted to make this to say that, and hopefully there'll be a part two. I want to talk about growing up, just like childhood, and also YouTube and how YouTube has changed completely since I first started watching like 07, 08. And yeah, so if you enjoy this kind of content or whatever, subscribe and like and comment, blah, blah, blah. And there'll be a part two sometime. But for now, I'm Tylerwho, and I'll see you guys later.